Hi everyone, welcome to this Smart Charts European session. Hope you're all well. Alright, so we have the US PCE Index report coming out in the afternoon at 1:30 p.m. and PCE stands for Personal Consumption Expenditure. It's basically a measure of inflation and the change in the price for goods and services purchased by consumers, excluding food and energy. And the market is expecting a rise in the figure to 0.2% from the prior month 0.1%. So it can be a market mover. It's a high impact news announcement because inflation, price for goods and services, is used as a metric by central banks to determine interest rate policy. Okay, and we just had the Federal Reserve on Wednesday. They kept interest rates on hold, and they basically said they're going to be data dependent, but they're not going to be aggressively cutting interest rates. But because they're going to be data dependent, we'll be looking at any trends in the economic data to see if there's any trends then in the market. Because when the US dollar is one currency that we have been trading quite a lot since November, well actually even since last September, in fact, really strong trends. But we know over the past several weeks a lot of those trends have come to an end. Okay, so we had some reversals. We were trading on dollar pairs at the beginning of the week, and now we're just waiting for those trends to sort of unfold. A lot of dollar pairs are actually in sideways ranges, such as dollar CAD and some of the commodity currencies as well. So we look at the news announcements just to make sure we're not overexposed heavily to a certain currency before a high impact news announcement. So again, risk management really important. And of course, we look for any surprises. Are there any major surprises in what the market is expecting? Because sometimes that's where we can get some really big moves. Sometimes they're tradable, sometimes not. But that's our job as traders, to find the clues that the market is presenting to us. Okay, we have technical clues, we've got fundamental clues, we've got news-driven clues. So there's different types of clues that we can use. So the main thing that we have been trading is really the weakness in the Canadian dollar. That's been the big theme. A lot of the news announcements this week pretty much came in line with expectations. Didn't really get a lot of market movement from them. But that's also because the market is changing directions for some of the big trends that we've had. But we know since the beginning of last week, and since Trump put on tariffs on Canada, and also the weak economic data we had last week, and also the Bank of Canada cutting interest rates this week, that's put a lot of pressure on the Canadian dollar. So that's been a really strong trend that we have been trading. And again, we can identify these type of clues without even really any knowledge about what's going on fundamentally. In tracking news flows, you can see where the market flows are by using AI indicators. Okay, so let me show you. So here in the tools tab, you have your currency strength indicator, basically telling you, okay, well, what is strong right now? What is weak right now? What is everyone buying? What is everyone selling? Where's all the money flowing into and out of? Which is really important when you're trading currency pairs, because they're paired. Okay, you're trading one currency against another. So for trend continuation traders, you really want to be buying the strong currencies and selling the weak currencies, right? For trend reversal traders, you want to be tracking this 5-10 seconds every morning before you start trading, and look for common themes. So for example, we've always seen the Canadian dollar pretty much down here. The commodity currencies have been down here, particularly Canadian dollar, over the past few weeks, confirming the trend to the downside. Okay, so we'll look for the trend continuation, but then also if it's been weak for quite some time, at some point you might even be thinking about looking at potential trend reversals if the market is coming to some really big significant levels of support, for example. Okay, so we can use them to help identify the state of the market and give us more confidence in actually what's going on and where we want to trade. So even before we looked at a chart or even a strategy, we get a deep understanding of actually what is going on, right? And we can see obviously the Canadian dollar is relatively weak. I mean, the US dollar has been just a bit in the middle here, all right? So we've had a bit more range-based situations in the US dollar, in fact, and we've had a little strength in the yen, okay, because a lot of the yen pairs have been going down. Aussie yen, CAD yen, Swiss yen, Euro yen, Pound yen, Canadian yen been going down. So we've had a little bit of strength in the yen, okay, since they increased interest rates at the last central bank meeting. So that has been also a theme as well. So if you're building out your watch list and your fast time frames, probably had a lot of those on your watch list, okay. So we'll keep an eye on that. And this is actually why, if you look at Canadian yen, that actually becomes quite interesting. If you look at the charts tab and let's say the 180 phase changer strategy, which is one of the strategies we cover on your 3-day live trading certification workshop on your Learn Forex program, It's one that helps identify any momentum trends that are developing in the market. Okay, so in this instance, you know, smart charts will basically be doing a bit of work for us. Well, a lot of work for us, in fact. If you're not familiar with how smart charts is helping you and what it's finding for you, make sure you're just reviewing all your e-learning materials in the Learn section of smart charts, all your online classes and so on. Make sure you're attending all your live training events as well, your live workshops, live training webinars, the boot camps and so on, and of course, you know, all your coaching sessions as well. But there's just a couple of things that we go through, simple checklist to give us the focus required to find performance day in, day out, right? Because focus is very important in navigating a $7 trillion market. You need to know what you want to see, where you want to see it before you even turn up and do anything, right? That visualization is key, all right? And the beauty is the more focus you have, the more then you can train and condition yourself to have 100% belief and confidence in actually executing that focus through the work we do on your day 3 live training certification workshop, your back testing and forward testing optimization work, all right? So a couple of things that we look for. First thing, I like to be in the moving averages. So this strategy uses moving averages, the yellow line and blue line, which give you a smooth line of price direction. And generally, you know, when the yellow's below the blue line, indicates a downtrend, and when the yellow's above the blue line, you know, indicates an uptrend. Okay. Sometimes when the moving averages are just crossing over and just randomly going up and down, it's indicating a bit more of a range-based criteria. Okay. So in this instance, first of all, I want to be in the moving average zone, in the yellow line and blue line. Why? Because it gives me a focus. I can say, well, look, sellers have been turning up here before, right? So maybe there's a high probability chance they might continue to turn up here again today, right? And the second thing to look for, I want to see some visible area of like resistance on the chart. So this could be pivot points, Fibonacci retracements, continuation, hidden divergences. It could be it could be just horizontal lines, trend lines. You know, there's lots of different types of resistance and support areas. I just keep it very simple, you know, looking for just, you know, simple angles of price, okay, and giving me strong momentum in the market. So that's like a trend line. And some traders might look at horizontal levels, so, you know, previous lows sometimes when they break through can act as levels of resistance. Okay, so again, it's whatever you gel with, but the key thing here is that we have a confluence of resistance areas where sellers have been turning up before. Maybe there's a high probability chance sellers might decide to turn up here again if they want to continue driving this trend lower. Okay, so on top of highlighting potential trading opportunities for you, smart charts will also help do the risk management work as well. By clicking the down icon and populating entry price of the blue dot, stop loss of the red dot, target the green dot, waiting for a confirmation of a break of a relative price pattern known as a ring high formation. All right, because there's still any confirmations that sellers will turn up, and because it might just keep on going up and the trend might change, right? You know, and sometimes trends don't continue. It will do the percentage risk calculations, rewards risk calculations, and currency conversion calculations for you, and those can all be adjusted according to your own user preferences. And then I like to set an expiry of a current bar close on this particular strategy and decline or accept the trade here at the bottom. And what that means is if sellers don't turn up to continue to trend lower, by the time this current 4-hour bar closes, this pending trade will expire. Didn't win, didn't lose, didn't cost anything. If they do decide to turn up and get to the entry level, that will trigger into a live open trade, and then either it goes to the target level or it goes to the stop loss level. So either it turns into a winning trade or a losing trade. Okay. All right, so look, that is it from me. I'm going to wish you all the best for your trading. Make sure you're tuning into all the other live trading webinars happening today as well. Interact with the other traders and help to identify, you know, potential trading opportunities on the intraday charts across global asset classes. But in the meantime, all the best for your trading. Bye for now.